Hey, lunchtime tea time a little bit later, but this is your girl Promise with a little bit of tea. You can do it. It's okay that it didn't work. It's okay that it didn't work again and again and again. And it's okay that the again and again and again equal years of not working. As much as that might be your truth, faith without works is dead. And no matter how many times you tried and it did not work, you still felt broken and alone. It don't mean it won't work the next time. Because if you don't give up, if you don't faint, He'll give you wings like eagles so that you can soar. And as much as they say He won't put more on you than you can bear, there's so many days that you questioned it because you didn't know if you're going to wake up the next day. I love you, and what I want you to know is you're not alone. You are not alone. Joy does come in the morning, past the midnight hour, and you're one person away from your miracle and your new season. Seasons are not indicative of time. You're one person away from a whole different outcome, no matter what you've already been through. And when I tell you that, I'm going to tell you that from no mountaintop where I've arrived and everything is great. And what I've been told is all manifested. And what I believe is joyous. I'm telling you that from that place. And as much as that's true, while I'm still in it, expecting to be out of it, thinking that I would die and never make it, He will not leave me alone. And if He won't leave me alone, then He won't leave you alone either. And we can do this. You can do this. We will do this. No matter the pain, rejection, obstacles, insecurities, low self-esteem, depression, suicidal tendencies, we can do this. We will do this. You can do this. And no matter your failures, it will never take away that you are chosen. And I might look good saying it, and I might come across confident, but when I tell you one of the first prophecies about how far behind I was with what the Lord wanted to do with me was over 20-something years ago, I have not arrived. And I've come across some molehills. I have made some small steps. I have tried and not died, even in times when I tried to die and wanted to give up. So when you're looking at me, don't see whatever you think you see. See me in the spirit. Even now, I'm doing it afraid. And my hope is that before you leave here, you will do it afraid too. One of my deepest desires coming into the Lord was that I wouldn't wait until it felt like I had no choice, like a a terminal illness or something, and they say, well, shit, I only got this amount of time, so I might as well do it. It's just between me and him now. Well, it's between us because I'm sharing it, but it was like, please, please, just because I know that I was not raised in church, and then when I did attend, I wasn't stopped from going, but everything was a battle up until like 25, and no one really understood me, and so I didn't want to ever give back in the spirit of no choice. There was just something between me and God. I just wanted to do it because I thought it was right. I wanted to do it because of the love I had for what was done for me. I wanted to do it because it was the right thing to do. I didn't want to do it because I had limited time. That's something personal between he and I that I'm sharing with everyone now. So, with that being said, I'm holding off some stuff I could check into, because I'm not leaving here with a different legacy. It's going to be because I still had ultimate amounts of time left, and I did it afraid and terrified based on the love I was given that pushed past the fear that was driven inside of me. You can do it too. We can do it. We can do whatever we can and figure it out. Doesn't matter how you see me. Hear me. Close your eyes. Don't see me. I'm not cute. I'm not together. I'm not okay. Think of some of your ugliest images, and that's probably close to how I see myself. So close your eyes and hear my words. We can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Do it afraid. Do it now. Do it with help. Accept health. Earth angels, empaths, whoever you are, prophet, whatever people call it. Do it. Do it now. You can do it. And if you're okay with accepting help, I will, until I can't, do whatever I can to help you do it. Because if you could really see the inside of me, like if you could really see the inside of me, you will understand what I'm saying. I would rather think it's me than the other person. We can change ourselves. We can be better. We can evolve. We can't change other people. So I'm at a place in life where if things go awry, it's not too many people. If you reach out to them, they'll tell you the same story. I'm not worried about that. I'm becoming more and more and more away from that. No one chooses what they're supposed to be. And I don't know if you know what being a unicorn is. And feeling like me, a unicorn? Me that gets it fucked up every time? Me that's never enough? Me that wants it to be enough, but still it just doesn't work out in a lot of ways, at least in the areas that matter to me. Not education, diplomas, none of that shit. But loving people that you love, and for some reason still finding yourself looking up in the discourse. Regardless of what these people say, you would rather it be you. Because that's how much you love them. At least if it's you, you can fix you. But the idea that these people you're in love with, and I don't mean romanticism, I mean all areas of love and friendship, family, you name it. Every time you'd rather it be you, because you can change you, than the idea that these people that you have been in love with and dedicated yourself to and have forgiven without them asking forgiveness, have lowered yourself to stay in commitment. The idea that they could not be who they presented, and said they were, it's too much for you to handle. You'd rather it be you, because you know you serve a God that forgives you, that will help you be better, help you do different, help you not do the same thing to another person. The idea that is so much easier for you to handle. Then you trusted the wrong person again, and you gave your love to the wrong person again. Then you think that just because there's titles like cousin, sister, daughter, aunt, whatever, it might be co-worker, you name it, sister in Christ, was enough that you should stay in torture, being bound with people that say one thing and do something else behind closed doors, and then to avoid looking themselves in the mirror, they put up before themselves a picture of you. And when they do that, the only reason it looks like it prevails is because way down deep inside, something you don't tell most people is the little image you have of you. So when you astonish them and put them on pedestals and praise them and show up, and you have the ministries of the gift of help, and you don't mind being in the background because you don't like being in the forefront. You don't like the way you look. You don't like the way you sound. And nobody knows that, because all they can see is the superficial things that make them go round and round while they counting your money in your pockets, wondering why they don't know that much about you. And you can imagine that 70% of people that you encounter could be mistaken. And once again, you still would rather take the blame, because whatever is inside you for people would rather it be you than it be them, and you be mistaken again and loved again and messed up again and trusted again. And as much as it might be crazy, it still don't mean it's not true. There's so many different destinies. There's some things that we won't ever understand while we're still on the earth. There's some fights we'll fight we shouldn't fight. There's some we'll fight we'll lose. There's some we won't understand and some we will. And never, ever, regardless of the situation, there'll still be some things that whether man can accept it, verbalize it, share it, present it, or reason with it, that we'll never know on this side. We're limited. The best of us are still limited. And I have a problem looking in the mirror. Well, probably looking in the mirror is the thing that's the worst thing for me. Because I was brought up in a way that was like, pretty much can do anything you want. You can be anything. But at the same time, you're a piece of shit and you're not good enough. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side. So in this idea, I might be biased and wrong. But I think there's there's something about total rejection. When you get to the point where you say, I don't fucking know what this is, but I don't think I deserve to be treated like that. That causes you to do something different. Separate yourself from your abusers. And then there's another weird thing where someone says, I will sacrifice for you. I will give you things that you don't need, but you want. I will beat you half to death. I will come home angry every day, but I love you. And you can be whatever you want to be. And then I will try to support you. Then on the other hand, you're not good enough. You look like shit. You too fat. You too this. It's very confusing. I don't know what you've been through, but I know the things that I've been through. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. It allows you to stay in a position where your abuser can abuse you for a lot of years because your idea of what love looks like is extremely tainted. Extremely. And then when you just feel like, it gotta be me. Can you imagine praying to someone you never met and asking them to help you be like your abuser? I bet you can, because I cannot be alone in this situation. Can you imagine thinking you were the worst link? That you were the black sheep? Went from Jeremiah 29:11, you were actually chosen. You were the chosen. Seriously, you can laugh. I promise you I have not reconciled the entire situation. But you were the chosen. And you went through a lifetime of feeling like you were the fuck up and the weakest link. Simply because what was inside of you was empathy, a healer, a prophet, someone that cares, someone that had to stop looking at the news because you couldn't handle devastation. Time after time that was happening to people that you didn't know, wouldn't know, and will never meet. But you just realized at a certain point, it was too much for you to bear. Like, that's just how much you care. And there was no one to really understand any of it. And so your abuser continued to be able to abuse you. Like, seriously. It's okay if it sounds crazy to you. Because if you really knew me, you would know how crazy this is, that I'm saying this. I'm not going to edit it. I am going to upload it. And it's crazy. And I can do it. Because before I leave, all of this inside that he gave, I got to get it out. Can't stay trapped in fear. I can't stay there. I won't die there. And hopefully one of the biggest things I was ever birthed to do was just to heal people and help people. Heal with hands, encourage with words, heal with words and deeds. Ministries are gifts of help. That they will do that. Like, it's always been the only thing I ever wanted. And I was never able to push past the hurt and disappointment and rejection, the sorrow, the esteem issues. It's just, I should have been able to. He's blessed me a lot in the midst of everything. So I won't use those as excuses, but it looked pretty dim, like I would live and die and not do it. And by the grace, not my desire, by the grace, meaning that not by your desire, whatever it is, you can still do don't count yourself out. You probably can still do it because it's not by desire, but it's just by the grace that I don't think he's going to let me leave here without giving some of it back to somebody whose life it can help. And then maybe if it helps that life, then it helps the generations, their kids, if they can transform themselves and walk in what it is they were created to be, then who knows? Who knows who that's gonna affect? That one somebody could be the one somebody that's designed to help millions. Like, that's a real thing, guys. Like, that's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's really a real thing. It's really a real thing. I'm so excited. It's really a real thing. And maybe if you get to see this, like, maybe it'll help. I hope it'll help. And I don't have it the worst of the worst. I'm not even ever going to think that. And as much as that's true, when I tell you I did this terrified, it's 11:30 at night. I refuse to take off my clothes. I come from a generation where you go to school, you come home from school, you take off your clothes, and then you put in your other clothes. And so I don't really walk in and do that. And I've been here for hours, and before I got here, some horrible stuff happened that maybe I'll make a different video about. That made me want to say, when I get in my house, F anything I was supposed to do. I'm going to crawl up in the ball. I'm going to cry the night out. And then, by the grace of God, please let me get up and go to my job tomorrow, Lord. That was life. And the Spirit turned it around before I actually got inside, and I thank Him for that. And but I still sat here all this time, like, if it's supposed to be a different type of video, it's okay. I'll shoot that another day. But I just couldn't. You can't lay down and not video. You just can't. You just can't. And I wasn't supposed to be anything like this. And as much as that's true, I'm still going to post it. And if you see it, if in any way it helps you, if any way that I can help you, I will. You are not alone. You are not alone. And you can do it. And there's people that love you that don't even completely know you yet. And as crazy as it might sound, and every bit of my pinky toe Harlem Nights is still the truth. Like, He's got somebody that has you in your spirit, name and not by name, on their mind. You're on my mind. We can do it. We can do anything. We can do it together. We can do it afraid. We can do it in love. Like, we can do it. Let's do it. I'm 50. And somebody told me in a church, like, 30 years ago, I was running behind time, and God said, open up your big mouth and do what He said 30 years ago. And I still didn't do it. But I'm 50. And doing it afraid. So you can do it too. You can do it earlier. You can do it at 14, 18, 21, 25, 30, 35, 40. And if there's any way, there's anything that I know or could connect you to help you do it, I promise you, I'm okay with that commitment. We can do it. We can do it together. We can do it in secret. We can do it afraid. You're not alone. You are not alone. You're on His mind, and you are not alone. You are not alone. You never have to be alone again. Never. Just say yes. Just try one more time. Just one more time. Just one more time. They say sometimes what? I don't know if it's the third or the seventh charm. It's a charm, but just try one more time. I don't care. 30 years, 20 years, 60 years, 5 years, 3 days. Try again. Please. One more time. That last dip. That was the dip that did it. We're talking about a nasty body of water to dip 7 times. And so a statue like that, we're not doing that 7 times. You was lucky to get 1. They say you go back in that Jordan River and you do it 7 times. And nothing changed to the 7th time. Nothing changed to the 7th time. So maybe this is the 3rd year, 1st month, 3 months, 21 days. And nothing's changed. Doesn't mean nothing's not gonna change. It doesn't mean nothing's not gonna change. And as long as you're breathing and you have life, doesn't mean nothing's gonna change. This could be the time. This could be the time. This could be the very time. This could really, I'm so excited. It's so weird. Because if you knew me, you'd be like, oh shit. But you don't. But hopefully you see it by the energy and the spirit. But this could be your 100th time. This could be the difference. This could be the change. This could be the change. This could be it. But please know that if you never knew before, know now. You're really not alone. And it's okay if people have said that before. You know how many people have blessed me and said things and done marvelous things? I'm like, OMG, OMG. And half their stuff wasn't half my stuff. And I still wasn't enough to push past my stuff. No judgment. How about we do that? There is no judgment. How about we do that? How about we do that together? There is no wrong answer. There is no judgment. There's none. There's no negativity here. We're going to leave the stuff where the stuff belongs, and we're going to talk about now and what we can do now. You're not alone. And as long as I'm alive, if you ever need me, you won't be alone, because I'm going to keep myself in a place where I can be used and I can create a legacy and I can continue breaking generational curses in my family and I could get past the loss and the pain and the rejection. And I can stop seeing me and I can start seeing you more and more and more, which would make it so much easier. Because if it's not about me and it's about you, then I think I'll be a lot less reluctant and afraid. Because I would never want to leave you in a place where you were waiting for something if I'm the one he sent. And we can go there another day. But today, let's do this. Let's do this. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Listen to me. You can do it. You can do it. We can figure it out. We can get the information. We can get the contacts. Whatever it is, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it together. We can do it afraid. We can do it terrified. We can do it regretful. We can do it crying tomorrow. Whatever it is, though, we can do it. We can do it together. At least you won't have to do it alone. I'm not going to do it alone anymore. And you don't have to do it alone. Because even if you think you don't got nobody, guess what? Now you got me. Now you got me. now you've got me. And I won't leave you until you tell me you don't want me no more. I'll keep coming back. No, I was going to say like a fungus, but I don't think that's the greatest analogy. But I will keep coming back. I will keep trying again and again and again until I feel like I'm posing myself to the point where maybe I should just like stop. But until we get there, you won't be able to turn me away. Like, yeah, the people that need the most love usually show in the most loving ways, according to Einstein. So I get that. I get that. I'm built for that. I'm built for that. Bam, you and me, promise here for you. No more, no alone, maybe afraid, but we'll do it together. Yeah, that works for me. I hope it works for you. Until next time.